Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm game. Today we're going to be having a look at a game that I have played earlier this week. It is going to be my first game ever casted on a map named, I believe it's called Habitation Station, which is by far probably my favorite name of any like Blizzard map name ever. I don't even know if it's actually made by Blizzard, but anyway, the map name is absolutely adorable. Habitation Station. I could probably play like 1,000 games on this map and never get bored of it, but in this specific game I'm up versus a Protoss player. Now let's actually have a look what my opponent is called. Let's have a look. We can do some cheating. His name is Era Funesta apparently. And it's going to be a ladder game, just a standard ladder game. I believe this was even my placement match, because I wasn't even ranked yet. But anyway, this is my very first time playing on this map. Very first time playing against this opponent. And obviously it is going to be a ZVP on an unfamiliar map. Now, whenever you play ZVP on an unfamiliar map or you don't feel as comfortable, you usually want to open up pretty damn safely. So that's exactly what we're gonna watch me do in this game as well. You might have already noticed we are watching a replay of a game, but we're watching it completely through my vision of view. So we're actually gonna be talking about the things that I was thinking about while doing this game. But obviously whenever we have to look at something closely, we can skip backwards in the replay and we can zoom in or watch something from his vision. But here we go. I'm gonna be opening up with a spawning pool first at 15 supply, which is one of the safest all-around openers versus Protoss. I don't really need to worry about going Hatchery first because it really has very little advantages. So if you want to play safe, just going for a hatch first or for a pool first into a Hatchery is usually the best thing to do. So gonna follow it up with a Hatchery very soon. If I get lucky, I might actually be able to pop it down before he actually manages to block my natural, but looks like he actually does have a probe out in time, so he might be able to block it. Gonna be setting up my camera hotkeys as well so I can easily switch, but here we go. Gonna try and get this base up. He's gonna be able to block it at first a little bit, but nope. Slight mistake on him and on his side of things, and I instantly grabbed the natural, which is nice for me. But as you can see on the production tab, obviously I am not aware of that. He is opening up with a forge. Now that is actually a pretty damn quick forge, and usually that means they are either gonna be cannon rushing you or they're gonna be playing safe all around. At this moment I don't really know that, but I do click on it right now and I'm like, oh my god, that is a really quick forge. Do I have to worry? What I decide to do is just pull a bunch of drones to the natural, because I really don't feel like getting cannon rushed, and even though he knew I was gonna go for a pool first, it might be tricky. Now I do see, okay, there's a pylon going down in a natural, which is a good call on my side of things, and I already made 6 Zerglings just to deal with it. Gotta put drones on hold position right now just to be 100% sure. There's not gonna be too much shenanigans going on, but here my Zergling spawn and I should be completely fine in dealing with this, and he instantly decides to cancel them. I pulled a few drones, gonna send those back to the main base, but so far it's been pretty straightforward. I saw a forge on the low ground and I instantly realized, okay, something fishy is going on. Even though I saw him drop the Nexus, it seemed a little bit later than it was ideally, and yeah, it actually forced him to cancel all of that, and obviously I lost some mining time as well, but in general it probably worked out a little tiny bit into my advantage, because it means he's probably not gonna go for any kind of more aggression. Right now we are pretty even, but I don't need to worry anymore about any kind of Zealot Stalker aggression, or maybe a Zealot Mothership Core aggression, or Zealot Mothership Core, or anything like that. I'm pretty safe all around. So what I'm gonna do is actually start 2 more Queens, just to make sure I can start my early creep spreading, and I'm also gonna get a relatively early 3rd base. So far though, I'm getting double queen injects, and obviously that's gonna give me a ton of larva production, which will allow me to make a lot of things. Now I'm making a little bit of a misstep right there. Gonna be walking up the ramp once more, checking. Oh, and it's just a gateway, so I don't need to worry about much else. And that gateway is late, guys. It's important to know, whenever your opponent attempts a cannon rush like he did in this one, it basically means he's committed quite a lot into it. If my opponent wants to go for a 2 base all in, it is going to be much less scary, simply because of the fact that it's gonna be later. It's gonna be a whole lot later than it would normally and ideally be. So what my opponent eventually decides to do is actually go for some Stargate shenanigans, and Stargates are usually a thing that a lot of people are having trouble with, and it's also probably the reason why you even clicked on this video, because I'm going to be talking about how you can quite easily defend against some aggression from the Stargates. Now we will find out very shortly what's going to happen, as I will be able to fly in Overlords. As you can see on the minimap already, this is the very first part of defense that's absolutely crucial. Let me scoot over there. This is the first Overlord that is in the back of his main base. This is his main base right there. I have another Overlord overlord at the back of his, or at the back of his natural right here. And I have another backup overlord, you could call it, that can also fly into the natural if it's necessary. So right now I'm actually moving both of them in the main base. There's one in the main, there's one from the natural that's trying to get into the main base, and these overlords will be able to scout absolutely everything. So now we're back on my vision. I am just playing a standard game, got my gases up, getting my third base up, getting a roach warren, and on the production tab we already see there's gonna be at least one Stargate. Now I will be able to discover that very shortly. Gonna be clicking on it, and I saw, okay, there's one Stargate and a few more gateways going down right there. And I'm just gonna try and fly around with these overlords and see what's up. Now right now I am fully aware that my opponent has a Stargate out. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't only mean that he's gonna go for Stargate units, but it also means that he's very unlikely to go for any kind of gateway aggression. So that instantly means that whatever happens, I am allowed to make drones right now. I am allowed to play super greedy, because there's not gonna be zealots on my side of the map, there's not gonna be stalkers or sentries or anything. I can just go balls deep into the droning, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting more gas up, I'm getting a lair up as well, and I'm just trying to get as many drones out as I possibly can right now. And I've analyzed, I am not dying. Now I managed to scout another Stargate right there, which is very nice. And I also see, okay, there's Voidrays in production. If you look closely at the Stargate, you can always watch what's producing in it, and as you can see, there's a Voidray right there. So I'm fully aware of everything that is going on right now. And what do? I instantly start producing more and more queens, as well as a second evolution chamber to start double upgrades. Now, queens might not be your first option, because Hydralisks are obviously the better all-around unit, but queens are actually very, very good. What I decide to do is go for a queen hydra kind of army. Whenever my opponent is going for more than one Stargate, and I see the first unit is going to be something like a Voidray, and it's not going to be phoenixes, I am fully aware of everything that's going on. And what is likely going to happen is that they're going to do one big move out off of 2 or 3 bases and try and kill me that way. So what I'm going to do is just prepare for that. There's another option that he could go for, and that is literally just fly from his main base to my main base, snipe the hatchery right there, and fly back out. And that's exactly what I don't want to have happening. So what I decided to do is actually go for a double spore crawler right there, just in case. And I also make sure that I have all my queens on one hotkey. So I'm producing 3 queens at a time right now. I'm getting double upgrades as well. I'm gonna be starting my Hydralisk ranged upgrade as well as roach speed, because eventually I want to go for also some roaches in his army composition. But so far it's been pretty standard. Gotta start producing a bunch of Hydralisks. Considering I'm already max saturated in all my bases, it means that I have a ton more production. Now here we go, he's doing a little bit of aggression. I managed to get a snipe on one of the Voidrays, but if you take a look at the income tab, just me having a third base up, even though my drones are not that much more than his, or than his probes rather, it is still giving me a gigantic advantage. Look at the amount of queens that I already have out right now. These queens, there's 8 queens already, these are gonna be absolutely plenty to do with everything. I'm allowed to make another big run of drones, and I can even go for a 4th base if I wanted to right now, because I am completely safe. Now he is still likely to do one major attack. I have a drone actually scouting, or I have a Zerg actually scouting his 3rd base right now, and considering this is the first time I'm actually playing this map, I'm not aware that there's another potential gold 3rd base up from his natural. I actually didn't spot that quite yet, but I'm trying to scout around and figure out exactly what is happening on his side of things. But if he's not decided to move out, I will actually do so myself. My +1 is about to be finished, my +1 armor already finished. I'm starting my +2 right now, and I'm gonna start a little bit of a move out. At the very least, I'm gonna go towards the watchtower, and right now I notice, okay, this is exactly what is happening. I know his 3rd base is up, and I know he invested a ton into it. So what I decide to do is start producing a ton of army myself right now. I'm gonna expand as well, but I'm gonna make sure that I start pushing across the map. Push my creep as well with all these queens that I have out, and I will be able to deal at least a little bit of damage just from this defense so far. Knowing my opponent went for double Stargate, and maybe even triple Stargate, because I'm not aware of that at this moment, it will mean that he just simply does not have a big army, especially considering he got such an early 3rd base. These queens will deal with everything in the air quite easily, let alone all the Hydralisks that I have, and the roaches in production should be able to deal quite a ton of damage too, and at the very least soak some damage too. So I'm waiting for them right now, spreading some more creep spread, but here we go. I'm gonna start moving in my queens. Queens are obviously very slow, so I need to move those first. I'm gonna try and make as many transfuses on the queens happening. Now I'm trying to try and just move in right here, target firing whatever I can, making sure I got more and more production going on as well, but just transfusing absolutely everything, and my army absolutely murders him. I don't need to worry about anything right now, because I simply have too much stuff to deal with. So this is a very textbook heavy game which just shows you that solid macro will just usually win you the games. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button as it helps me out a ton. Also, don't forget to share the video, and if you have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I will see you in the next StarCraft II video. Bye! Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and welcome to a new game of StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm. Yeah!